Hey, you guys, thank you for being here. Who you'll be seeing is, it starts off showing you Albert Pike. He's a big deal in the Freemasonic world. Next is Aleister Crowley, deemed the most wickedest man in the world. That is by his own mouth. And he was a 33rd degree Mason. Kenneth Copeland. You'll see him he was on the cover of an audio tape series called How to Build Your Firm Foundation. He has the square and compass on the cover. He's a 33rd degree Mason. Keep in mind in the Bible, it says, Exodus 3:14, God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. And so during the ceremony of the Masonic rituals, the candidates always ask, Brother Inspector, what are you? And the candidate always answers, I am that I am. I say that because that's huge, And so getting back to Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland was quoted as saying, and I say this with all respect because I don't want to upset people too much, but every time I read in the Bible the words I am, I can't help but smile and laugh and say, yes, I am too. And he was quoted at Believer's Voice of Victory broadcast July 9th, 1987. Oral Roberts was 33rd degree Mason. He reached out to his congregation in the early 80s to wake up, face east, and soak in the sun first thing every morning, even prior to emptying your bladder, quote unquote. He also mentored Kenneth Copeland into his 33rd degree initiation, and they both agree that Adam was hermaphrodite and have always both stood by the belief that Jehovah really means half male, half female, implying God the Father was actually God the Mother, or also God the Mother, hermaphrodite. Benny Hinn, in an audio recording titled The Word Made Flesh, Side 2 in 1991, he is quoted saying, You are everything, don't tell me you have Jesus. You are everything he was and everything he is and everything he shall ever be. Don't say I have. Say I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. Now all he's trying to do is brainwash you guys into thinking, or brainwash us into thinking the way they think, and instill their beliefs into our brain. That's just programming at its finest, and I'm not dealing with it. Reverend Robert Schuller, he's dead, of course. He built a mega church called the Crystal Cathedral, and he was witnessed performing a Luciferian ritual by several people at a school he once taught at, called the Unity School of Kansas City. He taught the gospel of positive thinking. He openly defied the doctrines of the Bible. Billy Graham was made a 33rd degree Mason at the House of the Temple in 1966. The majority of his staff are New Agers and not Christians at all. His name is used to be on a list in the Michigan State Lodge until he petitioned to have it removed for economic reasons. Genesee Lodge number 174 to be exact, in the state of Michigan. He has a prayer breakfast annually with the Masonic Brethren. He also has a huge Masonic birthday bash every year, and of course his folks will deny his being a member, and they'll say, well, he's just friends. But remember, birds of a feather flock together. They're not just friends with people, folks. And if you look closely at that magazine cover that he was on, you'll see strategically placed devil horns. Sick. In the book Unholy Alliance, written by Dr. James Wardner, on page 139, there's a former 33rd degree Mason turned Christian by the name of Jim Shaw, who has given a testimony of his days spent at the top of as a top-ranking Mason. He talks about the members that were in attendance to his initiation. Billy Graham was one of them. Now that's scary. His son Franklin Graham is quickly climbing the Masonic ladder in his daddy's footsteps. So keep your ears peeled. Billy Graham has also decided there's something that he must, quote unquote, tell the world right before his deathbed, or his number is called. That's according to him. Norman Peale was a minister also for his career, friends with Billy Graham and Schuller. He also stood by what Schuller taught, which was not at all God. He was a member of this situation called the Pilgrim Society, and all that is an Illuminati front for top-ranking, reserved for higher-up Illuminati members, is what I'm trying to say. As a matter of fact, Norman Peale and Malachi Martin being the guy that pushed Billy Graham into becoming a preacher because he was so good with people and words, sick, they were the best of friends. He's an Illuminati mind control programmer, Malachi Martin is, and they're extremely close with Billy Graham. And they were for decades, is what I'm trying to say. The best of friends. Joyce Meyer, Eastern Star member, as well as Illuminati oath taker. She shares the gospel of the New Age movement, the all-seeing eye, and so on. 666 in cursive is marked on her Bible if you look closely. T.D. Jakes was inducted firstly to the Eastern Star through Oprah, and he has now become a full-fledged member of the 33rd degree under the Knights Templar. His religious crusade initially was all about Jesus Christ. It quickly shifted to the powerful You movement that Oprah Winfrey stands for. So, that being said, Pat Robertson's a 33rd degree Mason. On Time magazine, he's pictured doing the Freemasons devil claw. Scary. Jimmy Swaggart, Don Swaggart, they are both no good. We always knew that. They're 33rd degree Masons. Jan Crouch, Paul Crouch, both dead, of course. She Eastern Star, he 33rd degree. Their broadcasting network, TBN, is a full-on Masonic network. Used to program people through the Illuminati. You know, it's what it is. Kenneth Copeland, once being a guest on their show, said, "Do you all know who the biggest failure in the Bible is?" "Who?" they asked. "God," he said. They screamed, "I love it! Praise the Lord!" How sick is that? TBN is dangerous, as a matter of fact. I think all televangelists are dangerous. Preachers today are pretty dangerous. It says in the Bible that we're to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. I now know what that means. Joel Osteen is now quitting his ministry. He's always been sick to me, to do full-time skincare with his wife. How sick, how sick, how sick. Creflo Dollar's a 33rd degree Mason. Jim Baker was not starting off when he got busted, but he has since, according to the rumor mills, been inducted in the Masonic, the Freemasons is what I'm trying to say. How far up, I'm not sure. Real quick, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton.